Hello and welcome to Fucking Reality Queens. I'm Amelia.
And I'm Sarah.
And it's bullshit day.
Or maybe it's a day of recaps.
So grab whatever your vice is and let's get the show started. Hello, it is Tuesday.
Beginning of the week. We're back.
Yay!
For another fun-filled week. I'm actually really looking forward to this week and everything we're talking about.
Of course. There's so many topics, so many things, so much recap. I'm excited because, yeah. So, all right, I'm going to just jump right in. I know we normally like bullshit. How was your weekend? Blah, blah, blah. Well, this weekend is what is ensued the topic today. And that is my rant about, I guess, hypocrisy, hypocrites, etc. And yeah, so I had a couple different incidences that happened over the weekend with the two little guys that I'm raising, with other adults in their lives. And yeah, it's kind of driven me nuts because I've had two circumstances where two boys who I'm trying to teach right from wrong in life, who are constantly told, don't lie, we don't like liars, etc. But yet somehow other adults in their life have asked them to lie.
Which is so scary. I mean, like like you're saying, we teach them not to lie. And then when it comes to adults, it's like, follow what the adults say. But then the adults are telling them to lie. And so then if they ever get comfortable with lying for adults, then you've got to worry about like the whole predatory aspect of it outside of family. Because you're referring to family right now, but it may not be family that does that. And if you've set that, well, it's okay over here and not over here, they can't decipher what's from what just yet. They're not old enough. They don't have that emotional intelligence and maturity. Oh, yeah.
Well,
so
and it's not just family. It's like you don't know who family has around.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like kids, you're dealing with family right now, but it may not be family.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, some of the on one of them, it's not fully family, but yeah. Anyway, it's just the whole point is it's bullshit.
Yes,
and I'm so flustered by it that I just felt like I needed to use this as my sounding board.
Yeah.
Today because I am beside myself. So you and I kind of talked about this briefly before we ever started. So
yeah, you were filling me in on.
I can set the scenarios up. So we have one little person that has decided to talk to us about some different thoughts and feelings, and I hate to say this. I feel like I made a mistake in telling said child, because I'm not going to say which one's which or what, that it's okay to talk to any of us
or
adults. Who's. Yeah. And I tell them it's okay to talk to us adults. It's okay to talk to your family, especially the prime, family members.
Yeah, the people that are closest to, the ones that you trust.
Yeah. Because you want children to not hide things, especially because of predators out there.
Exactly. Yep.
Not saying that we had a predator in this circumstance, but anyhow, this person shared their thing, and the feelings back on the topic was not exactly what I expected from the other said adult. So I was extremely disappointed, and they have now asked this one to, if anybody asks something, to lie. And I don't agree with that. So, I mean, this topic, this is a very touchy one. So this one I'm not going to go a whole lot on. So the next one, I will by all means just blast. So
throw it all out there.
Throw it all out there. But this is one circumstance where, it's like, okay, I don't like that. Don't sit there and tell a child you don't like lying or anything. There's nothing you can stand more in this world than liars, and then turn around and ask said child to, lie about something.
Yeah.
So
that reminds me of something that I had happen years ago when mine were small. You know how, not small, but middle school age.
Yeah.
And they had, okay, so we had a friend whose dad was completely gone, and mom was doing the best she could as a single mom. And so he spent a lot of time at our house. And so I kind of became, surrogate mom. And from what I could tell of what he had told me about his mom and what I, had gotten to know about her, I felt like she was the type of mom that this kid could go to for anything. And so a lot of times he would tell me things and I would say, go ahead and talk to your mom about this. I think you're going to be surprised at her reaction. So comes to me and tells me that people in his class are calling him gay. And he didn't really understand necessarily fully at that point what gay was, but he's like, maybe I am. Maybe I am. And I said, okay, well, we talked about it a little bit. And I think he was just at that point of life where I'm sorry, I feel like all little boys and all little girls at some point find everyone attractive. When you are a horny teenager, it all looks good to you at some point. You know what I mean? Somebody's going to give you the warm fuzzies, whether it's male, female, or otherwise. And so we discussed it. And when they went to their mother, she was very upset. She was very, very upset. And that crushed me.
That's sad.
It is. It's very sad.
Because regardless of whether that child is or isn't, you still get mad at them for divulging
She was
feeling.
mad. She was mad at him. Mad at him. Like,
this happens more often than people realize.
And this is why I think we have so many people that are afraid to come out to their parents. I mean, because this is exactly what happens. The parents go, I will love you no matter what. There's nothing you could ever say or do that'll make me disappointed in you. And so something this big, they tell them, and then they go, I'm disappointed in you. This is not the life I want for you. Like as if it's a choice. You know what I mean? Like if the kid, did end up that way. Yeah. And then why would you ever ostracize your child for who they are? I don't know. That just gets me. But I feel like that kind of plays into this because she basically said the same thing. I don't want you talking to anybody else about this. Do not share this outside this house. You are not. She was telling him, you are not. You are not. You are not going to be like that. No son of mine is ever going to be like that. Like, this is a phase or this is a fad or, whatever. And it's just awful. It's awful. But I feel like that story kind of falls into the same, realm of don't tell. Yeah.
Don't tell. First off, I can understand people and their worry about how other children or even other adults that find out might treat children that have came out. This just popped in my head because of the story you told me. And, my thing is I always tell kids, you know what? You don't have to lie to people about who you like, who you don't like, or if you prefer meat or vegetables or whatever, whatever your story is,
or carnivore. Yeah.
Whatever your story is, you can just tell people, I'm sorry, it's none of your business. Therefore, they're not sharing anything or divulging any information to any predators.
Mm-hmm.
But yet, they're not lying.
Exactly.
And so, it just, so my other story, so I'll open this one up. Because I really want to know, where you're at on this. Because this one chaps my fucking ass like nobody's business.
Well, probably will mine too, but we'll see.
So, one of the little men were over for a visitation because, everybody, I did not give birth to these children, but however, I am raising them. I am their court-appointed guardians. I love them. One of them I've had since birth, and he does call me mom. Mm-hmm. But he still has court-appointed visits. So he goes to said visit. I come and pick up. I have another adult come outside. This all happens within a weekend. One weekend. This weekend.
Yeah, both kids. Two kids.
Both kids. Two circumstances. So this adult comes outside to my vehicle and says, "Hey, I want you to have a talk with so and so about family loyalty." I'm like, okay, where are we going? Because this is a little kid. This is a little kid. What the hell?
Yeah.
Is this the fucking mafia?
Yeah. You keep it within the family. Like, what the fuck?
It's like, what? I'm like, okay.
These kids are under 12, under 13.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, so what is this, family loyalty thing? I'm just like rolling my eyes, legit, rolling my eyes like, oh, fuck. And so they sit there and divulge to me. So I needed to get something out of a room. So this place is somewhere where they go, it's at another person's house, but they supervise the visitation because there has to be supervision.
Yeah, it's like a third party, like a mediator.
Yeah, this
kind of like mediator.
Person sadly has to lock doors and lock shit up because said person who has visitation is a thief. And so
they got some sticky fingers.
They got very sticky fingers. So while the other person was out of the room, I guess, with an upset stomach in the bathroom. You can't control that, people. So I can't get angry
at the homeowner. The homeowner.
Yeah. So I can't get mad at them for not being right on top of somebody because you don't invite everybody into the shitter with you.
Right.
And
you're not going to keep the door open while you're blowing ass.
Yeah. And you can't just stand there and shard yourself. They're in the bathroom, stomach's upset, whatever. Well, this said adult gets a steak knife and decides to start trying to pick a lock on a room. So said little man starts yelling, "I'm telling on you." This person is getting mad, going, no, you don't. You don't bother them. They don't feel good. They're in the bathroom. And I just need to take care of this really quick. And I can't wait. Yada, yada. Said kid is still young. I don't care. You're not supposed to do that. We're not supposed to break into things. I'm telling on you. And they're like getting disgruntled because he is sitting there saying, "I'm going to narc." And he straight up did. He fucking went and narked.
I love it.
And of course,
Good for him.
Of course it ended up.
You knew right from wrong. You're not supposed to be in there. Stay out.
So hence this adult comes at me like telling me that I need to teach him family loyalty. I need to teach him to lie. Cover for the person that you're there for a visit with while they rob somebody blind.
No.
What the fuck is that shit? What the fuck is that shit?
Well, that's why you're raising them and she's not.
Very true.
I mean,
very true.
Let's just get down to the brass taxes of it. That's why you're raising them and she's not.
So again, though, here we are with another adult.
Right.
So I am very irritated about this. And I'm like, okay, I first got one person who I felt like was being a hypocrite. And then you, of course, point out something to me. And it's a true statement about being a hypocrite. Some cases, being a hypocrite is not necessarily a bad thing. If you want to go ahead and say what you had said to me.
Sure. In parenting, specifically, we don't like being a hypocrite. However, there are those times when you may have done things in your younger years as you're, whenever, as you're going through life, you have experiences and you learn from those experiences. So you tell your children, don't do this, even though you've done it. And you might feel like a hypocrite for saying, don't do this very thing that I've done. You kind of need to be, because you're telling them, learn from my mistakes, learn from my experiences, learn from the things that I can try and guide you away from doing. And I have actually known parents very close to me who live by that motto. I do not want to be a hypocrite. And in doing so, have created a lot of problems because their kids see everything you do as okay. My parents did it. They survived. It's the gospel. It's fine. And so then they go ahead and they do those things. And they may or may not have the same result that you did. They may or may not come out of it unscathed.
Especially now this day and age.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, if your kid knows that you've done every drug in the book and you did it for 20 years, then they're going to think, okay, I got 20 years. You know what I mean? My parent did it for 20 years. I got 20 years on the clock starting now. And that's how they think, especially when they are young and not old enough, again, to decipher, necessarily right from wrong. They don't have the emotional maturity to filter through those things. I watched scary movies as a kid, so I'm going to let my 3-year-old watch Rob Zombie movies. No. No, you don't do that. No. It's okay to be a hypocrite sometimes. In parenting, I feel like it's needed.
Well, I feel like I can proudly say that I've done well with 2 little men in my life because I was very proud. By the way, when I ripped out of there because I shut down.
I would have too.
The birds. I was like, I don't want to hear anymore. I rolled up my window, freaking backing out my car. I'm looking in the rearview mirror, and at the same time, I'm sitting there saying, I said, little man, I am proud of you for doing what was right.
That's right.
I'm proud of you for telling the truth because that's what's important.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes me feel good that you are making right choices.
Yeah.
So, I needed to praise him because I wanted him to continue to do the right thing. The other child, I will say, when they came back home and decided to talk to me, and I again told, hey, look, I'm proud of you for speaking up about things that you have, thoughts and feelings you have in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Whether everyone likes them or not, I'm proud of you for speaking you.
Yeah.
And this little person, I didn't even have to bring up the lying at all or any of that part because I knew already that this other adult had asked this child to lie.
Mm-hmm.
But I was letting this person, the little dude, to come back and I didn't even have to say anything. They're like, yeah, it kind of bothers me that this person, sat there and was all upset with me and telling me that they don't like liars. And there's nothing they hate more in this world than people that lie. And then they turn around and ask me to lie. And he's like,
they knew. He knew.
It makes no sense. And I don't want to lie. And I said, you don't have to lie. And that's when I went into the whole speech of, look, anything to do with your life that anybody asked you about you, other little kids or adults of other kids, you just tell them it's none of your business.
Right.
You need to be honest with doctors when they're asking you questions. You need to be honest. The main adults in your life, you need to be honest whether we like what we hear or we don't.
Right. Yeah.
But as far as outsiders go, it none
isn't
of their
any
business.
Other business. Yeah, it's really not. And that really is the best answer because it does take care of it. It takes care of the whole lying. It takes care of having to, just lying in general. It just wraps it up.
It makes me think about how many adults do bad things in this world and then ask their kids to cover and lie for them, like when they're shoplifting.
Oh my gosh.
And so many other things.
I've known several. I have known several that have done that, who have shoplifted with their kids around. And I knew one girl, the one whose name who shall not be mentioned, who absolutely taught hers how to be the distraction. Like she had a gaggle of kids and they would create a distraction while she put things in the car. I mean, I had been with her and didn't even notice what she was doing. I've been with 2, actually. I had 2 friends that had sticky fingers, or one was I considered a friend. The other one was an acquaintance. That, man, these people are good. But I knew that they did it. They also did it around their children and that, or, had their children be an accomplice in this. And what?
Oh, well,
why would you risk that?
I know one person who had sticky fingers created a sticky fingered child.
Mm-hmm.
And when their child was younger, they had gotten busted at a Walmart. The adult did.
Mm-hmm.
And the said child, took the fall and said, I actually put it in there.
Oh my gosh.
It wasn't them. And the child didn't get into any trouble. They had a stern talk about, well, we don't take yada yada. This child covered
Oh my
for
God.
said adult, and it's like, you're fucking kidding me.
Oh my God.
There are, and this is the thing. I think some crooked ass adults take advantage of the love of a child.
Oh, absolutely.
Because children will be being brought up by the worst parents or even other adults in the world, and they love them so much that they will lie for them. They'll overlook it, everything, because they love them so much.
They love them so much. They'll give them opportunity after opportunity. I mean, I know we have both seen instances of situations like yours, kids being raised by either step parents or, extended family, and the moms just continuously let these kids down, and they continuously allow it because they're wanting just that one time
yeah,
that they
for them to
through.
follow through, or
and they're willing to do
something else
for over and over, get their little hearts broken over and over and over again because they love them so much.
We were kind of talking about some of this in the car ride home from school today, because today was field day at school, because like everybody who's been following us knows that I homeschool. I do a hybrid schooling with the kids. Yeah. So they get to go to an establishment for a day or two out of the week. The rest of the time it's at home. We happened to have this discussion, and it's because one child doesn't want to go see the other adult, and the way that their guardianship is set up, there actually is no visitations that are mandatory. So it's up to the child, because the child's of a certain age and they can choose.
Right.
And the other doesn't understand why they don't want to, and they're like, I'm sitting there listening to this conversation in the back seat.
Mm-hmm.
And the one asked, like, well, why don't you want to go? And they said, this child said, because, she's really nice. And the other child said, I don't care if she's really nice and I do love her, but I don't want to see her because she still uses drugs and she still steals. And I don't like that. So I'm mad. The words "I'm mad" came out of their mouth, and they said, I don't want to be around it. And I did chime in then, and I said, look, somebody can love somebody very much, but it doesn't mean that they want to necessarily be around the person.
Right. You can love someone and not like them.
And not like them and not want to be there. I think for him, it just makes him so angry. So I don't force it. I don't. And as a matter of fact, I'm always, because I try to teach them not to lie, I will I'll make up excuses when they're invited. And then I have to turn around and I get roped into doing shit because I don't want to sit there and say, oh no, sorry, they can't come because we're doing this. And then I'm like, fuck, now I'm having to do something I didn't want to do because I don't want to fib. I don't want, it has became something that is so important to me to actually teach this. Because, what's crazy is I think some people are like, it's like a hereditary thing. They're like habitual liars.
Oh, for sure.
It's like they just lie to lie. And it's like, what the fuck?
Well, kind of like Casey Anthony. She was a habitual liar. I mean, she kind of had a background, that caused it. But
but she was groomed for lying.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. She was groomed for lying.
I just... Yeah. If either one of these children have the chance of being a habitual liar or whatever, I want to try my best to at least kind of Dole it
Curb
down to
it.
a bare minimal.
Well, and it is interesting too to see how these kids turn out. The ones like that I was talking about, whose mom would involve them, in the thievery. One of them, there's three. I think there's three. And one of them on her own would never be like that. One of them is like middle of the road, would maybe she doesn't quite have the $40 for the Sephora eye palette. It might make its way into her purse on occasion. And then the other one, flat out steal the shirt off your back. I mean, just they went through all three, ends of the spectrum. All
three phases.
So there's really no telling, my point being, there's really no telling how they're going to turn out. You may get lucky. And you may have one that's like, that was so messed up that my mom ever had me involved in that, and I would never. Or you've got the one that's like, yeah, I learned from the best.
Yeah.
I'll take your rims off your car while you're driving down the road.
That's fucking jacked up.
Yep,
that is so jacked up. Well, I just want people to understand also also, as adults, when we preach to the children things like the statements, I can't stand liars, I hate lying, you've got to understand that you have to give a little bit leeway to these kids on some things, because kids are going to lie about who hit who first.
Yep.
Anybody who thinks that not even even a 9-year-old, they slip cuss words out when you're not around.
Oh, of course.
Y'all are delusional if you don't think. Even I think some 7 and 8-year-olds, they'll say damn or hell. They'll try to push that boundary. And you're really delusional if you think a 11-year-old isn't like cussing like a sailor behind closed doors.
Of course they are. Because
they think it's cool. It makes them feel good and stuff. And when you ask them about whether or not they're cussing and they tell you no, sorry, don't get freaking angry at them for lying to you, because that is like one of those things that
have a reasonable expectation.
Punish them for, say, you're in trouble for cussing, but don't punish them because they lied to you about it, because this is a natural kid thing. There's other things though. I think it's really important that we try to push that. So
you got to start teaching them the difference between, this is what go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, just to make the statement, like one of my little dudes, the older of the two dudes, like he straight up got busted cussing like a sailor on the VR because he was out. I let them go out into the studio that's not finished. I like, you can go out there right now while there's none of the cabinetries put in yet. And you can go ahead and VR because it's a big open space, and plus your screeching is driving me nuts while you're playing Gorilla Tag.
Yeah.
And so somebody heard him cussing. My oldest heard him cussing and is like, called him out, and he's like, oh, froze like headlight. But and then the story was brought into me, and I'm like chuckling as I'm hearing it. But when little man came in, I was like, hey dude, I hear you were busted cussing.
Right.
He was honest. He goes, well, yeah, I just got so angry, and I get it. I get the anger, but we need to not be cussing across a platform, especially one that might have littler kids on there, and they don't need to hear you, because not everybody has family members that cuss like sailors also.
Exactly. Yep, it's true. I used to tell my kids, it's okay to have some teenage secrets. There are things that we all did as teenagers that our parents didn't know about. And I'm perfectly okay with those things within reason. Like my daughter as a senior would skip school with her boyfriend sometimes. She had good grades. They were in the last few weeks of school. I did not care. But I used to tell her, I don't want you to lie to me about it necessarily. So like if I ask you, I need you to be truthful. I need you to tell me, but I will try and not ask you certain things that I may not want the answer to, so that you don't feel compelled to lie to me. And so, the only thing that I really, really cared about her skipping school was them leaving in the vehicle, something happening, and me not knowing where they were. And, thinking she's safe at school, and to find out that she was in a wreck somewhere,
Or find out that she's not safe at school. You could have a school shooting. You're frantic that your kid's up in there and you're not reaching them, but they're
come to find out they're down at the river,
Yeah. And you're like, phew. But if you had just told me.
Exactly. Yeah. If you just let me know, I can't tell you how many times I would be driving past their school in the middle of the day, and I would see that truck of her boyfriend's coming towards me, and they should be in school. And I would see my daughter slide down the seat. And she'd be picking her phone up, sliding down. Like I could see her picking her phone up, sliding down, because she knew I was going to call. Why did you not tell me that you were leaving?
That is hilarious.
It's the one thing I ask of you. Like you're allowed to have teenage secrets. I'm okay with it. I will try not to ask, unless I really need to know. But that one, come on now.
Yeah. Come on. Yeah, exactly. Well, I've had my moment to rant and kind of bitch a little bit and
talk about both sides of hypocrisy with parenting.
Yes. And I hope that some of the story has been like a wow for some of you, and also on the same hand, a good chuckle because of the audacity.
Honestly. Oh my gosh.
All I can think of is Al Capone. We're having like some mafia damn thing. The loyalty.
Where's the loyalty of the 9-year-old? Oh my God. That is so funny.
It cracks me up, but there's not much more I've got to say on this. I feel actually a little bit relieved, and now I feel like I could almost have a glass of wine. And
yay!
I've ranted.
Not to drown your sorrows, but to relax.
To relax, because I can. Because I totally can. Anyway,
funny.
It's always just bullshit on this day. We never really fucking no rhyme or reason. We try to go a little bit more conformed the rest of the week, but this is like it's a Tuesday, but for us in podcasting, it's our Monday. So
right, exactly.
We're having our Monday.
Yeah, exactly. And it feels like it. It has felt like it. It has felt like a Monday today. I mean, it is a Monday, but it has felt like a Monday
technically,
today.
people, it is a Monday because we record the day before, but it's your Tuesday.
It's your Tuesday, but our Monday. Yeah. Our beginning of the week, and it's every bit of the beginning of the week.
Yeah. So, by the way, I'm liking the bedazzled ears.
So. You like it? Yeah. I know. I think I need to get the actual bedazzler so I can do it. Yeah. So I can do it for reals.
I thought I sent it back to you.
Oh, you may have. It's probably in my office back there.
Okay.
It probably is. Is.
On that bedazzling note, I need to get off here because I've got some stuff to do.
All righty. Get to it, girl.
All right, everybody. We will yap at you tomorrow.
Let's talk to you tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow we're covering Married at First Sight, and the new show, Marry Me Abroad. No, Match Me Abroad.
Yeah, Match Me Abroad.
Match Me Abroad.
Yeah, which looks like it's going to be hilarious.
Yeah, I'm liking it so far. All right.
Yeah, we'll talk to you tomorrow. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
All right, Sarah. Ramble that shit.
All right, here we go. We are now available on Patreon. For less than a cup of coffee a month, you can get bonus episodes, extended episodes, and join in on future fun events. You can follow us on all social media. We are FUKING Reality Queens on Facebook because, well, fuck Facebook. We are available on Twitter at FRQ_Amelia Sarah. We are fucking Reality Queens on TikTok and Snapchat. You can visit us on our website at www.fuckingrealityqueens.com. You can also send us an email at podcast@fuckingrealityqueens.com. Please leave us a comment or question on our Contact Us page. We absolutely love receiving those. And also leave us a 5-star rating, rate, follow, review, wherever you get your podcasts. And as always, Fucking Reality Queens is a Whaley production.
Wicka, wicka, wow, wow. And that's a wrap.